When it comes to social media, the consequences of fake news, rumors and disinformation can be far-reaching, more than many people suspect. Oftentimes we focus on the consequences to countries, governments, companies and these large entities. But what about when the subject of the viral news is an individual? Someone with family, friends and a reputation. To you, it might just be another post to start conversations on your page or group, but instead, you're tarnishing another person's image. Your unsuspecting audience will run by this unverified claim and also share it with their own audience. And every single one of us has an audience that believes if we say it, post it or claim it, then it's true. We are all that individually powerful. On this episode of The Proof, we'll take on a claim about a large amount of cash found in a London flat which has resurfaced on social media after first gaining traction years ago. But this time, even thin on details, it has been linked to Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Osinbajo. Well, welcome to another episode of The Proof, powered by Africa Check. I am Joe Hanson. Let's get the show on the road. Welcome back to The Proof. A post on Facebook in Nigeria claims that the UK police found $8.5 million in a house belonging to the brother of Nigeria's vice president. The post reads, and I quote, "Breaking. UK police discovers $8.5 million in Pastor Osinbajo's brother's house, who is schooling in London University." End of quote. Joining me today on the show is Allwell Okpi, researcher at Africa Check. Thanks for being here, Allwell. Now, tell me, how did you fact check these claims?
Thank you, Joe. The claim, which sort of try to insinuate that this has to do with the Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, who of course is a pastor, and his surname Osinbajo, and not Osinbajo. I mean the spelling Osinbajo is the real name, and what you have in the post is Osinbajo with the N coming before J. And the Facebook post also gives no details or further details about the story, such as the name of the person meant to be Osinbajo's brother, where the house is in the UK, and generally from our experience, this kind of lack of detail is usually an indication that the Facebook post is false.
All right. Now, since there were no credible sources supporting the claim and the vice president's name wasn't spelled correctly, by the way, what other evidence or information did you use to debunk this rumor? Are those things enough to discredit the claim?
Yeah, we also did investigate. We tried looking out to see if there is any a report around this. We searched whether we're looking at local or international news, and we found none. Ideally something, such a story having to do with the Vice President of Nigeria will indeed make the headlines, and if it was true, you would expect that newspapers in Nigeria or in the UK will publish something about it, but we found absolutely nothing.
Now, this is not the first time this claim about 8.5 million US dollars in a UK flat has hit the internet. Now, what do we know about the origins of this particular story?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, Joe, this is not the first time. It's actually an old story. In 2018, a Nigerian blog claimed, pretty much similar claim, that the 8.5 million US dollars was found in a UK flat belonging to a relative of Osinbajo, but there was no evidence to support it, just like now. And but then the original story was actually first reported by the UK media, by the BBC and also the Daily Mail in 2014, and of course that is a year before Osinbajo became vice president. And according to those media reports, the money was found in a flat in the UK's capital, that's London, and it reportedly belonged to a 29-year-old man whose identity was not disclosed. But in all of that story, there was no mention of Nigeria or the person being Nigerian or even remotely related to Vice President Osinbajo.
This story is one that affects personal reputation. So why are the consequences of such claims on the reputation of anyone, regardless of just being the vice president, anyone, much less a sitting vice president, if you put it that way?
Generally, a lot of people do believe what they see or read on the internet, and so there is that risk. There is that possibility that some people might go away believing that the brother of Nigeria's vice president is a criminal, right? And that had some impact on his reputation. And then, of course, we know the season that we are in Nigeria, which is the election season. We've seen a whole lot of cases where politicians, both those in the race and those who are not in the race, having a lot of false information around their reputation. And so generally it just calls for the public to be careful with what they find on the internet. Before you believe it, try to verify that it's accurate.
Well said. Thanks for being here with us on The Proof. Allwell, thank you. Welcome back. Well, it is important for all of us to remember that individually we do have the power to influence and sway people. In this era of social media, there are people who are looking to us for our opinions, thoughts, claims and beliefs on issues and even people. Now, this is why it is important to check the source of the information you see on social media before you react or share. Grammatical errors, to bad spelling can tell you that a post is false and the poster has shared it just to start up a rumor or mislead the public. Don't always be in a hurry to forward. Instead, take a second look at the post and ask a few questions. If you're still not sure about a claim you see on social media, send it to us here on The Proof. Send it to Africa Check. You can also find details of today's fact check by visiting www.africacheck.org. You can tweet at AfricaCheck_NG. And don't forget to also follow us We are at News Central TV, and you could also check our website. It's www.newscentral.africa. It's been a wonderful fact-checking episode. Until I come your way again next week, I'm Joe Hanson. Thanks for watching The Proof.